I'm Troy Kirby with a quick look at the 2022 Washington State legislative session. The Senate State Government and Elections Committee heard public testimony on Senate Bill 5817, which would restrict usage of synthetic media in campaigns for elected office.
I wanted to thank you for hearing the bill, and mostly I want to thank Secretary of State Hobbs, our former colleague, and his team, Senator Hatfield, former Senator Hatfield, is working with him for bringing this bill forward as request legislation. We, as Sam Brown noted, you passed the bill out of committee in this form just 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, if you recall my testimony, we were seeing a rise of what we called at the time deep fake videos being used in campaigns. And as the bill developed over that period of time a couple of years ago, we later came to adopt, after working with the Center for Information at the University of Washington and other sort of academic and campaign-related research organizations, the use of the term synthetic media, all of which is sort of a broad term for disinformation.
The fact that disinformation spreads so rapidly and is believed by so many so quickly. And how do you put that cat back in the bag, especially 60 days before an election where it's not election fraud in the sense that you're actually switching votes that have already been cast. But in a way it could influence who someone would vote for, change who they would vote for at the last minute.
Say me when I'm running for office in front of the Capitol building, waving a Confederate flag, which obviously I wasn't doing. That would be one example of some of this media that we're trying to deal with. That
would be a perfect example, and I think it would be appropriate and reasonable for a disclosure to be required in an advertisement or a presentation of you, so that people can know that this in fact was not what you did.
Do you know, how is this warning label or this label going to be standardized? And before you answer that, it's kind of like, to me, maybe the ad I may hear on the radio where at the very end the disclaimer is read so fast, or it is in such small print. Usually we're visual. We look at something so quickly versus what's in the lower right hand or left hand corner. Is there any standardization to that, or is that a bureaucracy?
Well, that's a good question. The bill the bill doesn't contemplate standard. Well, it does have actually some direction, I believe, as was pointed out.
Thank you for watching the 2022 Washington State legislative session.